Our theme for this year, 2013, is Living the Empowered Life. And that is my wish for all of our new members, for all of our graduates, for everyone here, that you truly live the empowered life. And we said that living the empowered life means knowing, remembering, claiming, and expressing the Christ nature in you. Knowing, claiming, remembering, and expressing the Christ nature in you. That infinite source of power and love and grace that lives in you all the time. And so every month this year, we're celebrating a different quality that can support you in expressing your Christ nature, in living this empowered life. And as we begin the month of June, the quality that we are exploring and celebrating is integrity. The quality of integrity. You see our artwork for today, the compass pointing due north. You know, integrity is about being in alignment, right? Being in alignment with what you know to be important. That's integrity. Being in alignment with your own values, your own intentions, and what matters most to you. That's integrity. And so we have created a prayer statement, an affirmation that goes along with this quality of integrity, and it's appearing behind me on the screen. Let's speak this together. I speak, act, and make decisions in alignment with my values. And let's say it one more time. I speak, act, and make decisions in alignment with my values. You see, when you know what your values are, then they become your compass, and they are what guide you in the world. There's a book by Philip Moffitt called Emotional Chaos to Clarity: How to Live More Skillfully, Make Better Decisions, and Find Purpose in Life. How to live more skillfully, make better decisions, and find purpose in life. That's what we do when we live in integrity with our values. When you and I are clear about our values and we really live in integrity with them. On our website, you'll find a longer definition of integrity. Let me share it with you. When I live with integrity, I am clear about my core values, and I make decisions which are in harmony with those values. My thoughts, words, actions are consistent and in alignment with what I regard as important. I speak with honesty and act according to what I believe is right. I am respected by all, even those who disagree with me. You see, the thing about integrity is that my integrity isn't necessarily yours, because my core values are not necessarily yours. I mean, there probably are some aspects of integrity that we would all agree on, but you and I all have different set of core values. And so what Philip Moffitt says in his book, Chaos to Clarity, is that the way to have clarity in your life, despite all the chaos of the world, is when you know what matters to you and you live from that place. So I want you to be asking yourself, what matters to you? What is important to you? What makes a difference to you? And as you ask yourself those questions, you will begin to get clear about what your values are and how to live them in the world. And you know, all around us, things shift and change, but when we're clear about our values, we can move through those shifts and changes. And Philip Moffitt gives a really good example. He says, you know, imagine that you have a goal of taking your friend on a hike up a mountain, because there's a particular vista that you want that friend to see, a particular place that you want them to see how gorgeous it is, right? Now that's your goal. But in addition to your goal, you live with certain life intentions or certain values. And let's say that you really value listening deeply, and you really value building intimacy. So off you go on your journey up the mountain, but you get part way and the weather doesn't cooperate. You know, it looks like a storm is brewing, and you know that the right thing to do is to hike back down the mountain. You never make it to that particular vista that was your goal, that you so much wanted your friend to see. So in one regard, you failed because you didn't get to reach your goal. But let's just say that in that hike up the mountain, you still listened deeply to your friend, and you built intimacy in the relationship. And those are the things that you value at the deepest core of you. And so in that regard, you absolutely succeeded in living in integrity with who you are and in living your values and your intentions. And it's not that goals aren't good to have. Goals are good to have. But as you've noticed, you're not in control all the time of all the many factors that are going to happen in your life. It might get in the way of your particular goal, but you do have the choice to live in your values and to live in your intentions. So we want to talk about that today. So what is integrity? Integrity means a lot of things. The first thing that integrity means is to walk your talk. It means that you match your actions to your words. What you say you're going to do is what you do, and what you do is what you say. And there's even a term called behavioral integrity that is applied to organizations. An organization with high behavioral integrity is one where the leaders, the CEO, and your senior management do what they say they're going to do. Whatever values they espouse, whatever commitments they make, they do what they say they're going to do. And what research has shown is that employees notice, and they're interested. They're very interested in what their senior leaders are doing. Are the senior leaders doing what they say they're going to do? If they say they have 5 core values, are they living in those 5 core values? And so back in 2002, at Cornell University, they did a survey of over 6,000 employees who worked for Holiday Inns. Over 70 Holiday Inns were surveyed around the United States and Canada. And they had them rate on this 1 to 5 scale all manner of questions around behavioral integrity. And the results are fascinating because there is a direct correlation between how employees perceive their management. If employees perceive their management to be high in behavioral integrity, then the organization is much more successful and much more profitable. If the leaders are doing what they say they're going to do, then that inspires the employees as well. So we're talking about behavioral integrity there in a corporation. Now, the research goes on to say that it doesn't necessarily mean that the leaders are doing the right thing. It just means that they are consistent. They're consistent and they do what they say they're going to do. You know, our new members that joined the church today all have made a commitment to behavioral integrity. They've all made a covenant between themselves and God to act in certain ways, to achieve certain behaviors. You know, they've made this commitment to pray for the church daily, to attend services, to serve regularly, to financially support in a consistent way this community. And that's being in integrity. That's being in integrity. So if the first thing that integrity means is walking your talk, the second thing it means is being authentic. In other words, the outside of you matches the inner of you. You are in integrity when you're being authentic. Now, Jesus had a thing or two to say about that. He didn't use the word integrity, he didn't use the word authenticity, but he did use, we're told, in the book of Matthew, it's reported that he did use the word hypocrite a lot. He spoke about the opposite of it. In fact, what Jesus became really riled about is anytime he saw people behaving out of integrity. And in particular, he would lambaste the scribes and the Pharisees. The scribes and the Pharisees were the leaders of the Jews, and they were to be the keepers of the Jewish law. You know, there were over 700 Jewish laws, and they were to be the keepers of that, to model it and enforce it. So they were held up as the exemplars, if you will, of Jewish law. And yet, they did not demonstrate the letter of the law. So Jesus would very much become riled by them. And in the book of Matthew chapter 23, go read that sometime. I won't read it all to you, but I'm going to share it with you, a couple of things that he's reported to have said. So he said, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you clean the outside of the cup and the plate, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence. You blind Pharisee, And then he says, first, clean the inside of the cup so that the outside may also become clean. What he's saying here is that you and I are called to first search inside of us, to come to know who we are, to come to know the Christ in us, and then to act from that place and let that radiate outward. It's not about the clothes that we wear, the persona that we put onto the world. Let's make it all match. Let's be in integrity with what's on the inside. And then he says it another way, but tries to make the same point. He says, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you are like whitewashed tombs, which on the outside look beautiful, but inside they are full of bones of the dead and all kinds of filth. So you also on the outside look righteous to others, but inside you are full of hypocrisy and lawlessness. You see, the key to being in integrity is being in alignment with your true essence, being true to who you are. It's not just showing a positive face to the world, it's allowing your true essence to show to the world and not feeling that you have to pretend to be something that you're not. You know, one of our 5 core values is inclusiveness. We embrace all people as expressions of God. In other words, everyone, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, we know that you're an expression of God, and we want to honor the uniqueness that you are. We want to honor the individuality that you are. We want to honor the authenticity that you are. That's why we have that as one of our core values in this community. So integrity is about being authentic. Fanny Bryce once said, let the world know you as you are, not as you think you should be. Because sooner or later, if you are posing, you will forget the pose. And then will you be? Then where will you be? You know the pose for the picture. Let's see, we get the foot just like this. And we turn just like this, so double chin doesn't toe. And then we smile. You know the pose. I don't know what your pose is, but you know. But sooner or later, you're going to forget the pose. You're going to slouch. And that's when they're going to take the picture. So you may as well be happy with it because that's who you are, right? You're all of that. You're all of that. So integrity means being authentic. It also means, and I think most of us may come up with this first, being honest. And I'm going to be really honest in this particular moment. And I'm going to say that I think it's warm in here, okay? Because I see people fanning themselves. So, you know, they hate it when I do this. But whoever's near the thermostat, you can just tweak it and bring it down just a degree or two. And the people in the front row are going to be really happy. And I think some in the middle too. So that's my attempt at honesty right there. Thank you, they said. Oh, good. So integrity is being honest. Integrity is being honest. I want to tell you a story about a racquetball player by the name of Ruben Gonzalez. And everybody always cringes when I tell sports stories, so I'm even going to read part of this because I don't know beans about racquetball, okay? But I get the gist of this powerful story because Ruben Gonzalez came from Spanish Harlem in New York and was in a gang, but eventually his athletic prowess was such that he became an award-winning racquetball player. So he was just rising in fame, and he was in his first major tournament, and he was doing very well. He was doing very well. And let me read to you what it says here. It says, he was playing the perennial champion for his first shot at victory on the pro circuit. A match point in the 5th and final game, Gonzalez made a super kill shot into the front corner to win the tournament. The referee called it good. One of the linemen confirmed the shot was a winner. But after a moment's hesitation, Gonzalez turned and declared that his shot had skipped into the wall, hitting the floor first. As a result, the serve went to his opponent, who went on to win the match. So all the referees called it good. The linemen called it good. Everybody called it good, but he had seen it differently. He had seen it differently. And so when interviewed later, they asked him, so why did you do that? And he said it was the only way he could keep his integrity. You've heard that statement have you that integrity is what you do when no one's watching? It's being honest with the world and being, most importantly, honest with yourself. Because when you're living with integrity, you have what Philip Moffat calls clarity. It's like, I don't know if you've ever done a juice fast or a cleanse of any sort. When you do that kind of thing, it clears out all the toxins from your body and you just feel clear. You just feel clear and clean. Well, when you live with integrity, you feel clear and clean. Blameless, the Buddhists call it. And when you feel that way, doesn't matter the chaos around you, you are clear because you're in integrity. And so Ruben Gonzalez, had he gone on to win that tournament, would have always had that niggling thought, do I really deserve this? So within you and I, we have this integrity barometer, kind of like this compass behind us that shows us a true north. We have this integrity barometer, and it's our feelings and our emotions. Your emotions and feelings will tell you when you are living in that clarity place, or when you're off ever so slightly or in a major way from your own values. When you're out of integrity, we call it. You feel it, you feel the knot. You may not know what the knot represents, but you must ask the wisdom within you, because we all have an infinite well of wisdom. You must ask the wisdom within you. Okay, where am I out of integrity? Where am I out of alignment? What can I do to bring myself back to true north, to alignment with my values and be in integrity once again? I know that in the room today on this graduation Sunday, we have folks who are going to be graduating from high school, heading off to college. And boy, I hear reported that cheating is rampant on college campuses these days. And I know that the excuse that is sometimes given is, well, everybody's doing it. Well, I want to say two things about that. First of all, everybody isn't doing it. And secondly, everybody is not you. Because to live in that clear, blameless place, there's no room for cheating. It's up to you to find and know your values and live in accordance with your values, whatever that means to you. So you listen to the feelings within you. And my request of you is that this week you begin to ask yourself the important questions. And the questions are these: what is important to me? What matters to me at the end of the day? You know, at the end of the day, I mean the whole day. I mean at the end of the day, what will people say about you? What do you want them to say about you? What do you want them to have experienced in you? What do you want them to be able to say, she really stood for this? I could really see how he expressed that. What are the qualities that you would love to be said about you? Not because it will satisfy your ego, but because it really is what you value. So what is important to you? What matters to you? And if you're not clear and you want to get started on this, ask a friend, someone who knows you, and ask them, what do I stand for to you? What do you experience when I'm in your presence? Because chances are you're already radiating your values oh so clearly. Though, of course, it's possible that there's some attunement yet to do. A really good exercise is to ask yourself these questions about what really matters to you, and then take a look at your day timer or your cell phone or wherever you keep your calendar. Take a look at them and compare them and see if where you're spending your time and your energy and your resources is a good match for what you deeply value in life. So some of you are here today as graduates. You're graduating some particular program. You're about to take a new step. Some of you are here as new members. You're about to enter into a new relationship with this community that you love so much. And here's what I want to say to you. No one can shine your light the way that you do. No one can live your values for you. They are your values to live. No one can be true to you except for you. And so I want to close with these words that were once spoken by Tony Robbins. He said, "The strongest force in the universe is a human being living consistently with his identity." The strongest force in the universe is a human being living consistently with her identity. You see, I can't do it for you, and you can't do it for someone else. Only you can do it for you. And when you do it for you, when you live from your identity, your individuality, your expression of the Christ nature, when you do that, it is an unstoppable force for good in the world. God bless you.